now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. I love the adrenaline, 'cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm on a rush now, winning, that's my focus. I need some ice, you gotta cool me down. I feel my nirvana coming closer. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, tearing down the walls. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. I love the adrenaline, 'cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory.
Let's go. The world is healing and everyone is waiting. Finally, here we are at the top, live from Suntec Convention Center in Singapore. This is the MLBB World Championships. M3 starts now. At your service, my name is Leo, joined here by Mirko and Wolf. Gentlemen, how goes it?
It's going good, man. Can't wait to see the matchups that we have here today. But, man, it's a pleasure to finally be here on the stage working with you guys, Wolf and Leo. Can't wait for the first matchup where we already have a champion versus champion.
We're starting strong, and Wolf, gotta ask you, how was your morning before we go into today's battles?
It has been great. Singapore has been great. All of my mornings have been great so far, especially because we're waiting for this moment where we finally open the third edition of the World Championship of MLB. It has been 3 years. How great is that, right?
And none of this would be possible without the help of our lovely sponsors. Thank you so much. This is all powered by Moonton, supported by the Singapore Tourism Board, and presented to you by TikTok Live. If you guys are wondering what the next thing you should do in Singapore is, maybe you should follow @visit_Singapore. And don't forget to use the hashtag #PassionMadePossible to share what you're looking forward to doing in Singapore. You opened up strong, man. I wasn't even going to talk about the matches just yet because everyone knows, everyone's been waiting. Red Canids this, Blacklist that, Malvinas here, Bedell coming in strong. Really, what else are we looking forward to? Any surprises?
This group is full of surprises, man. We got 3 teams that, they're making their international debut. Blacklist International, I don't think we need to introduce them. Everyone in the Mobile Legends scene knows who they are. They've been so dominant for the last year here in the Mobile Legends scene, but now with Red Canids, we also have Bedell coming in and Malvinas Gaming. This is surely going to be the groups where the upsets can happen.
Well, looking at the list of teams that's going all throughout, it's going to be difficult, but we are inviting you guys to join us and guess who is going to be winning. You can upgrade your pass to up to 13 levels by joining this little game in our game, all right? So all you got to do is participate in the M3 Guess via the in-game esports tab. Make your predictions today to grind your M3 pass experience and unlock a bunch of benefits. Wolf, how's your pass doing?
Well, it's actually a wrong thing to ask me because I definitely will pick up the Filipino teams, right? I think I'm the worst person you have to ask me about.
So honest.
Yeah, I'm
So
let's start with honesty this time, right? But M3 Pass, this is great because I really wanted that figurine, right? That Roger figurine. I would love to grind for that.
Yep, hitting 150. Mirko, how near are you, or how far?
I am pretty far, pretty darn far, but let's get right here, Leo, to today's schedule. We're gonna take a look at day number 1, where we will be seeing Group A competing against each other, where the first matchup, like I mentioned, the Filipino champions, Blacklist International, will take on the Brazilian champions, Red Canids, in our first match.
I love how all today's matches are scheduled. It's a good pace. We get to open up strong with MPL champions, and then we go ahead and get introduced to these teams from all over the world. Our second matchup is going to be a Turkish team versus a South American team, and I am just looking forward to that. Wolf, anything else we're looking forward to? There's 6 matches today.
Yep, 6 matches. One thing that you have to look forward to, Blacklist International, we already know them. And a lot of people are saying, oh, this could be a cruise for Blacklist International. But Red Canids, Bedell, as well as Malvinas, the thing that you have to expect about them is that they're literally the best in the region.
Yes.
If you're looking at just the stat line on how they were picked and shipped here at Singapore, you have to look at the history of their last matches. They destroyed all the competition in their region. I think the only closest one will be from Red Canids, but the way that you're looking at their performance all throughout their MPL, they are very dominant. The same goes with Malvinas as well as Bedell. They smash through their own competition, and they are representing their country well with the amount of, just the raw talent that they have and raw skills that they have. So do not doubt the other 3 teams because they're definitely the best from where they came from.
Wolf only speaks the truth, and there was a good bunch of stats there, but just the same, a reality check. This is a best of 1, ladies and gentlemen. They're only playing 1 game, and each one is worth a point. And the highest 2 points in this group are going straight for the upper bracket in the playoffs. And I'm wondering, what kind of mindset are these players going into? With that being said, Mirko, upsets are bound here because it's a best of one.
Exactly. That is why I mentioned earlier, man, it is going to be a surprising group because, again, group stages are all going to be best of one matches. So any team can get a random win right here, right? You can just basically one game, one failed draft, one mistake, and it's all over for that one. So surprises are bound to happen. We can see Blacklist International already getting into their seats right here in the M3 stage at Suntech.
For a few of these players, I gotta say, this kind of setup, being actually on stage in an arena just like Suntech, it's gotta be new. It's gotta be jarring to some of them. And right now on camera, you see here the young Oheb, Kiel Soriano. There's a lot that this young man has gone through throughout the past seasons of the MPL. And of course, MPL royalty, Oh My Venus, on camera as we switch over to Red Canids. Blacklist International has influenced this team so much. It's not a secret. Luna himself actually speaks so well, so highly of Blacklist.
Right? You know this story that our production actually told us when Luna came. It's like this towering voice. He looks like a gangster. Like, he can beat you up. Not that, but we're not saying that he'll beat people up. But you know,
nice guy, very nice.
He's a very nice guy. Don't get us wrong. But yeah, he looks like a guy that will tower over you. He called Oh My Venus in an angry like tone, like Oh My Venus, just to get a picture. All right.
Just to get a picture.
Just to get a picture with the queen, with the esports royalty, as you're saying.
All right, so let's get a reintroduction to Blacklist International. Here we see Haji, Edward, Oheb Wise, and Oh My Venus. I'm pretty sure back home in Indonesia, Mirko, you hear these names a lot.
PTSD is what you can call it, man. This team, again, you don't need introductions. Everyone knows who they are. They are the tournament favorites. They've been the tournament favorites for every single competition that they've been in. That just shows how dominant they've been in their run, but we'll have to see whether or not they can go through Red Canids, which will be a tough opponent, as we are going to get into their lineup very, very soon as well here. Wolf, any extra thoughts for this team?
Well, Red Canids, we were talking about how the other teams are the best representation from the region. Red Canids, Canids, they were very strong during their group stages as well as their pre-playoff performance. Come the grand finals where they faced Cage Stars, obviously they came up on top, but it still was very close. However, that just proves that the top two teams from Brazil are the best in the region so far. Now, what I do like about the Red Canids lineup is that they really like to stick together. Macro gameplay is probably not the best in their either department, which would be a problem against Blacklist International, as Blacklist International likes to exploit that. But what we do like about Red Canids is that they like to group up together and get kills. So expect some, maybe if you're asking me what we can expect from this team, maybe a lot of team fights.
Oh, a lot of team fights?
That's right.
Honestly,
a lot of 5v5 team fights.
There
not
you
really
go.
just team fights.
And the thing is, I'm also expecting the fact that there might not even be that many kills, right?
Yeah, not much kills, but more on like group ups, many group ups. I guess that's the term.
Let's see if that happens in this best of one. Very small sample size on screen right now. The brain behind the operation. This is Coach Bonchan. He himself, a player, played under the EVOS banner when they were back in the Philippines in season 4, if I'm not mistaken. And he's so well-rounded. He's so well-rounded, such a nice guy overall. And he understands what it's like to be a player and to be a leader. And man, leading from the front. Here we go again. You can't say Blacklist without saying Oh My Venus, but here we are, an introduction. Just in case you guys don't know, this is Coach Darkness from Red Canids.
Yep. Coach Darkness from Red Canids. We touched on this a little bit, the Filipino influence on this Brazilian team. We see the TZ surname coming in here for Red Canids. So, again, they are taking a lot of inspiration from the Filipino team. That means that they have done a lot of homework as well towards Blacklist International. Darkness, he's done the homework. We will see if they're able to execute the plan to beat them here on the M3 stage. We see Luna right here on screen, determined, ready, and I can't wait for his performance here.
Luna is quite similar, but just the same, very different from Oh My Venus. A clear inspiration, outspoken of how much the Queen has inspired the Gentle Giant. But just the same, you could not just see their hero pools and say that's very different. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since we've last seen the Queen pick up a tank.
Yeah.
But looking at Luna, he's known as an Akai specialist. Wolf,
Right.
are we expecting to see that Akai come into play at least via ban or first phase pick in this one
100%.
game here?
I think that because all throughout the day, I would say maybe that's the safer choice. But in this battle against Blacklist International, I'm pretty sure that Red Canids will show up whatever they have practiced a lot. So maybe it's all the big guns, right? All of your comfort picks, you're going to have to bring that up. And Akai is a hero that may be a good hero against the Ube strategy anyway. So the group up strategy coming out from Blacklist International, seeing as it's good when it comes to peeling. It can, I mean, Akai can be used against the lineup that wants to group up because you can peel with it, or maybe just pin them all together in one spot. So all things considered, I think Akai might be one of the top choices here for Red Canids.
Looking forward to that. It
Yeah.
would be great for Red Canids to get that hero. But ladies and gentlemen, we would like to say hi to everyone watching via MeWatch. You can catch the M3 World Championship live on MeWatch from the 6th of December today up until the 19th and win in-game rewards. Quick shout outs to MeWatch. Now, we've all done our homework. We've all seen what
Yep.
MPL Brazil is all about. Red Canids, we mentioned that they're all about the 5v5s, and they're okay with keeping that kill score low. What might that mean going against Team Philippines, who's known for their long games, Mirko? You know how Team Philippines goes, man. We go up until 25, and that's normal.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, right now, it is going to be the clash of styles coming from the Philippine team, and obviously Red Can is the Brazilian teams. They are very aggressive, whereas as you can see, for the Filipino teams, they usually play it a little bit slower. They play for the objectives, they play the macro game. I think Wolf can touch on this a little bit more, but that is going to be the clash of styles here for the best of one. But there you have it, best of one, all right? We keep mentioning this, so one mistake from either of the team, and it could be devastating.
Man, we keep saying best of one because, ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit, this might be an over-exaggeration, but I doubt that it's a hyperbole. The format is almost just as important as the metagame.
Yes.
The heroes that are viable, the strategies that we can employ is almost as important as the kind of games we're playing. So whether it be a slobber knocker of a match, 30 minutes and above, or it become a complete snowball victory from either of these teams, we're about to find out. Draft is coming up very shortly. Real quick, I want to discuss what it might mean for a tiebreaker. We discussed this off the air, and I hope you guys at home are ready for this, because in case there are ties in scores, we will have to go towards game duration.
Yeah, in case of a three-way tie.
And it has to be the shortest games across those ties.
Yeah. I heard, I overheard actually, when it comes to like, what do you mean by actual game time? I believe that they will sum up all of the, you know, this is the usual thing in esports, and believe me, this has been going in for most MOBAs that I have experienced. The way that they do it is that they sum up all of the games, and then they see if the duration of the total duration will be, you know, fewer than compared to others. However, there are times wherein you just get the fastest game of this team, or all of the fastest games of each team, and then they just, you know, compare it. And obviously, the team with the least amount of like minutes played will be the ones to be picked to win.
And this game, this opener between MPL champions is going to dictate the pace of how the rest of our days here in the group stage is going to be. 1:20 until we start the game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're feeling it, what more the players, what more Luna. I love seeing him smile.
Yeah.
It means he's in his zone, he's in his element. I love that MPL Brazil has been on site for the longest time too.
I agree, man. You know, seeing the hype, seeing more regions getting into Mobile Legends, it's all what this is about. The World Championship is for these kind of moments right here. We see the Red Canids team. Sure, this is their international debut, but they don't seem to be nervous at all, man. They're looking cool. They're looking nice. They're looking good here coming into their first performance, their first match. And what a first match it is in the international stage. Not only are you debuting, but you're debuting against the tournament favorites.
The tournament favorites, that's something that I'd like to talk about. How do you think Blacklist feels right now, knowing that all eyes are on them?
Exactly.
Yeah, obviously for Oh My Venus, nothing new. What about these younger players like Edward, Haji, Oheb? Well, Wise is also pretty young, but you know, like, how do you think they're approaching this?
Man, honestly, I don't know, but we've seen from their experience during MSC, during the MPLI, during both of the MPL seasons that we saw this year, they're clutch. They come in clutch, and they will be able to withstand that pressure, beat that pressure down, and take the victory. Look at that. The timer has gone to 0. We are about to get into the draft for match number 1. We are just going to wait on that a little bit more. But yes, like you mentioned, Oheb and Edward, these young players coming into the stage. What about you, Wolf? Do you have any thoughts about these young players?
Yeah, I think that most young players, during their first, your first rodeo, they might be feeling a little bit nervous whatsoever. But again, this is Blacklist International. They have been through 2 MPL seasons together as a team, and these young kids, even the rookies, I guess the new players here from Blacklist International have their own fair share of the limelight. Particularly Haji, who have already represented the Philippines before with a different team. However, I would still feel that it's not gonna be a problem at all for them. Young kids in their first rodeo, it's gonna be a lot of nerves in there. But after their first game, I'm pretty sure that they won't feel that anyways.
Yep, I have the same thoughts for Red Canids because a lot of them are very young and a lot of them are competing with their first pro team here. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go. A best of 1 between Red Canids from Brazil and Blacklist International from the Philippines. Red on the blue. That's confusing, but Blacklist gonna answer back. First taking out the Lunox and the Aldous. Blacklist answers back. They've been doing this before. They take out all the assassins, Hayabusa and Ling.
Yeah, the thing is, for the side of Blacklist International, very similarly, there's a clash of styles, but they also have some similarities, right? Blacklist International, they really like to group. They really like to go for those 5-man team fights. So getting these assassins out of the way will mean that they don't want to go against these pick-off style of heroes. Taking it away, it is going to be really good for their draft, for their game plan, as we've seen from it before. But wait a minute, the Estes band comes in for the side of Blacklist International. We've seen this many times before. That's Venus's signature hero.
Something tells me there's something going on here. It looks like there are plans afoot. Plans afoot from these two teams. How crazy would it be? How crazy would it be if in the offseason between MPLI and M3, Blacklist just drastically changed? They've been pretty mum about what kind of Blacklist they might bring out.
They call me a hero.
Okay, so
Your team
it's all about
falling
getting
apart.
out all of the comfort heroes for Blacklist International. That's the idea for Red Canids. I'm pretty sure that they were thinking, oh, maybe we can snatch the Estes away from this team. And you see even the body language of Red Canids, they were quite shocked that the Estes ban came from Blacklist International themselves.
Yeah.
But this is not the first time that they did it. Blacklist International banned out the Estes against Omega, or back then it was called Execration, in an international tournament as well, because they know that that opposing team can use it against them too. So this is, obviously it's a surprise, but it's not a thing that Blacklist International didn't do before.
Yeah.
What would be the answer though? Like, Lee Sun-shin already banned out.
Yushin is a pickup. Yeah, I love how Red Cat is opening. They know the history. They know the history that Yushin has with Blacklist. And Blacklist answers back. You open up Matilda Airlines, it comes through. We have liftoff as well as the Barats. Mirko, I have a question for you. Is this a jungle Barats or an XP Barats?
That's the thing, right? It's a very good flex pick for the side of Blacklist International for both of these heroes, the Matilda and this Barrett. A huge, huge flex pick potential, but also very prio picks coming in. So we've seen it before played by Wise and Edward. We'll just have to see how the draft goes here because, as we all know, Barrett's one of the huge counters, one of the big counters towards that Paquito, and instantly Red Canids will go for the Farsa and the Rafaela. Now, Wolf, we spoke about this, Rafaela. In your tier list, you mentioned that this is an SS or a pick or ban hero. Maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I like your alley-oop of promoting my tier list.
There
Thank
you go,
so
yeah,
much.
man.
But yeah, Rafaela is perfect with assassins. With marksmen. And Yushin, although counted as a fighter or assassin, can be considered as a marksman. So this ups the tempo of this season Shin. It's also a great steal pick or deny pick against Blacklist International. Although the Matilda's already revealed, there's it could be like a Rafaela Matilda duo. Now what I do like about the Rafaela this time is that it will increase the tempo that Red Canids wants to play in, and that will really amplify how the Yushin is to be used here from the jungle role. So
Your team is banning.
Just take objectives, win your lanes from Red Canids, give out all you have in the early stages to the mid stages, and hopefully end that game as soon as possible. Answer for Blacklist though is the Harriet, an OHIP special, but not entirely sure if this this is good against the Yi and Shin because that is, in the Philippines at least, pro players argue that sometimes Yi and Shin can beat the Harith and sometimes the Harith can beat Yi and Shin.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We're gonna have to see what happens here in the matchup, but the Phobias
Your
will be
team
taken away
is
instantly.
banning.
Obviously, you get a very, very mobile hero, dash-heavy hero like the Harith. You don't want it to be countered by the Phobias. Coach Bonchan instantly just takes Phobias off the board for the side of Red Canids, though. They are in for the response. So far in their draft, they are going for a front-to-back composition. Maybe they want to, push that a little bit more. Maybe ban away the hard engage heroes, because again, this Barret's can be flexed to the jungle. If it does, Lapu Lapu, Yuzong are still open, and those two heroes are really good against the Farsa.
Slowly, something's telling me this is jungle Barret's. Yeah, it's how you have to do this because there's a lot of weight on the Harith. So you kind of want that jungle to go fast.
Your
and
team
when you're
is
down on
banning.
vision, against the Mountain Shocker and the mobility of the Rafaela, I think you have to have something safe
Your
on
team
Wise.
is banning.
So we might see the... Okay, I was about to say the Paquito, but yeah, Edward can still pick up something like a Tams, or you already mentioned the Lapu Lapu to go dive that Farsa. It's essentially an equation that's hard to miss out on.
Yeah.
It's such a safe hero, such a great execution.
What this really is the strength of the Barretts for Blacklist International, most specifically, because they're one of the few teams that really love to put the Barretts in the jungler role. Now, I want to look back. It makes me think that Blacklist International, specifically with the leadership of Bonchan, sometimes they have this mode wherein they literally just counter their the opponent's heroes. For example, when they pick up the Barretts, it's perfect against most of your marksman lineup. It's great versus the Yi and Shin. And then you go the Harith so that it can match up well against the Yi and Shin. Like we said, it's a skills matchup wherein Harith can win over the Yi and Shin so many times in most stages of the game. Now, Blacklist International, I think that they're going to be showing us their position for this time, or maybe another hero for Oh My Venus or for Haji, because this is always the thing with Blacklist. They don't reveal which hero Haji or Oh My Venus will play up until the second phase.
Yeah, and because of that, I just noticed the Cho's still out there.
Exactly. What I was about to mention, man. The Cho is still up there for grabs for the side of Blacklist International. I really like their two bans, man, the Phobias and the Brody, but it does leave the Clint open. We've been mentioning Clint a lot during our quarantine, during our play sessions. This hero is one of the prio heroes as well, but like I mentioned, the Lapu Lapu coming in for the side of Blacklist International, getting that high dive-in hero, but instantly a 1-1 pickup for the side of Red Canids. We haven't seen the 1-1 a lot so far. Wolf, any thoughts for this pick?
Decent versus the Barretts. I mean, it at a certain point in time because of the changes, because I think the passive was based off on percent HP before. Now it's fixed. Now it's not that good against Barretts, but it was better the previous time. It still is decent because of the anti-crowd control that she has. Also, the ultimate is perfect against the Barretts, very tanky hero. So the only problem I have with this is that the Lapu Lapu is present on the side of
Your
Blacklist
team is
International.
picking.
Uranus is their XP laner. We're now on the Blacklist. They might reveal which one is the jungler or which one will be the X. I think that they have
It's
already
confirmed.
revealed.
Yeah.
This is the
yeah.
Barretts.
I'm scared of how correct my prediction was. I honestly was just going off a 50-50 theory, but yeah, you gotta just put that jungler in, and here we go. We confirm no Cho, no Hajit Kundo for us today.
Hajit Kundo.
Instead, it's going to be Matilda Airlines and then Haji on the Kagura. They needed mid to be super active. They needed mid to be super active to give Oheb some time, and of course, the firepower for Wise. And now, best of one. I think this was a good call for Blacklist. I gotta say, they wanted to go fast, but I'm still giving Red Canids a little bit of room because they have so much vision, and they're so mobile.
Yeah. This is where you also go. Man, Blacklist International just went Blacklist International. It's very Blacklist International. The draft, you're looking at the lineup. Matilda, Oh My Venus played that so many times. Barretts on Wise, it's a specialty. You have Lapu Lapu on Edward, one of his favorite heroes up to date. Harith, of course, for Oheb. won a lot of games and won a championship with it, and a Kagura for Haji, as we saw one of the best mid lane heroes that he was able to get is this Kagura. So this is so much comfort for the side of Blacklist International.
Absolutely, but guess what? It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the first match of the M3 World Championships. We're getting into the land of Dawn, where again, Blacklist International, with their composition, will have early prio. It's going to be very hard for the side of Red Canids to get anything done here in the early stages with literally 4 scaling heroes. I don't know, man. I feel like you're giving Blacklist a little bit too much room. We'll see how that fares for Red Canids. Right now, Jumpstyle just going to use a Retribution, securing that orange buff in the early game. Again, not much they can do here to go for the Little Wanderer.
Interesting how Blacklist International going for the invade, going for the check, while Luna was going for the leash across the map. They were expecting a vertical jungle. They were expecting some level of invade, but they kept it safe anyways. Real quick, let's pause this up, make sure that everything behind the scenes is on point. And I gotta say, we're off to a safe start. These two teams, they know each other. I'm aware of scrims happening all throughout the quarantine. I know that they know each other on a more than just face level. On a surface value, these two teams have studied each other very well, and they're showing so much respect.
Yeah, I want to say it's a different play style, at least in the early stages. The laning configuration is definitely different from both teams. For the side of Blacklist International, it's a standard 1-3-1, wherein your 2 supports, your position 4 and 5, will protect the jungler. Clear out the mid lane as fast as they can and then protect the jungler, move out of that. And now, you're looking at Red Canids, they really want to funnel their strategy into the gold lane this time, as the Rafaela will be escorting this 1-1 for maybe the entirety of the laning stage, just to make sure that the 1-1 will get the farm. And I think that's a great approach. The Yisun can fend off for himself. The only problem here is that what if they run out of time for this 1-1 to have enough farm?
I'm scared of Upa TZ, honestly. Upa here has a great game, especially if...
And he's got a TZ.
Yes.
And he's got a TZ.
if he does get the babysitting that Luna's willing to provide.
Yeah.
I saw the interaction and I saw the rotation. Luna was on his way to Upa. And Harith, Oheb, we've seen him come through worse. We've seen the young man, the young gold laner from Blacklist, survive so much pressure.
Yeah.
But against a 1-1 that has a Rafaela on him, I foresee diving shenanigans.
Yeah, I honestly cannot remember what Oheb picked up as the battle spell, but if it's a Purify, then it means that it will be a free game for him. So you're looking at the composition of Blacklist, of Red Canids, there's not much lockdown in there. In fact, there's only like the Rafaela and maybe the stun of the Farsa, but that's hard to land. So technically speaking, this will be a great game for Oheb, especially after being picked up 3rd. Imagine this, 3rd pick for Blacklist International. There's not an answer for any kind of hard CC on that Harith. And I'm scared for Red Canids because of that fact.
I agree on that completely, but I do want to touch on the fact that Red Canids, they picked up the 1-1 over the Clint, right? Clint, again, being a very good, very dominant laning hero here in the early stages of the game. I thought for sure that they want to go for that Clint, get that lane dominance, lane kingdom up in the gold lane, just shut Oheb down from the get-go, but they went for the 1-1 instead. So right now, I'm still pretty confused as to why they did that. Maybe do you guys know? Do you guys have an explanation for that?
I see 1-1 a lot in MPL Brazil. Just taking a look back at the regular season, their playoffs, even well into Liga Latam right before we got into M3, the 1-1 shows up very, very often. And it's either that or the side lane mages like Lunox, which is often banned, as you saw earlier here, right?
Yep.
So now back into the game, you can see that, yes, Luna is going to be babysitting Upa TZ, but just the same, Oheb, he's not having a good time only because Blacklist's about to just rotate. Check this out.
Yeah, there you go. Haji goes in. Unfortunately, unable to do anything here. Blacklist will just go ahead and try to take that gold buff right now. We'll be able to secure it as Jumpstyle doesn't have the retribution just yet. Blacklist International so far right now with a 10 gold lead. Just a very, very small gold lead, but a turtle cam right there presented to you by TikTok Live as we are perhaps going to go into another pause for now here, Leo.
Love the huge swing. That visit by Luna was timed well by Blacklist International, so they were able to bother the Rafaela and the 1-1 up top, open up this first turtle at about 2 minutes, as you can see right on the pause. Between the Uranus and the Lapu-Lapu, that's why Lapu-Lapu is so strong in this metagame, in any metagame, is because in the XP lane, he's nigh unbeatable. Bravest fighter at minute 2 is disgusting.
It is. It really is disgusting. But unfortunately, we do have another technical pause here from the side of Blacklist International. We can see a little bit of frustration actually from Luna right there. Maybe getting, you know, the emotion, the mental game is huge here, even in the best of one. So we'll see what happens here. But so far, Blacklist are the ones to initiate another technical pause. This does give us a little bit more time to, you know, speak on the drafts here, right? Again, they have a very hard front-to-back composition. They literally want to just play kiting back with the 1-1, with the Farsa, with the Yisun Shin as well, and the frontline Uranus. But the thing is, Blacklist International, with their composition, they will be able to control the tempo of the game from the start to the mid-game, I suppose, until that's where Red Canids can try to come back. You know, that's where they start to get their own tempo, get their own power spikes. But what are your thoughts on this? Because it's the complete opposite of what we just touched on earlier on. We said that Blacklist are the ones to take the games to long distances, whereas Red Canids, they like to go in for the early game plays.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's going to happen here. Yisun Shin, he scales not as good as a Nathan, not as good as many other hybrid cores in this game currently in the metagame, but just the same, they have a Farsa, they have a 1-1. And it sounds like I'm about to say something good about Red Canids, but actually, all of these heroes are great targets for the Circling Eagle. Great targets for the Detna's Welcome. And 4 out of 5, it's only really Akashi who should not be hit by the Bravest Fighter, but almost anyone can be one off of a duel by Edward on the Lapu-Lapu.
Yeah, there's a lot of chain stun coming up from Blacklist International. We can see, like you said, Circling Eagle, Detna's Welcome. Good single target lockdown for sure, and then you have Lapu-Lapu, good initiation, especially good backline gap closer, the Lapu-Lapu. And then the Kagurov obviously is your AoE. If you're looking at Red Canids, it's not about just the lockdown. In fact, they only have the Rafaela as their hard stun here, and it's not gonna be good. However, they have so much damage in the party. Imagine Yisun Shin as well as the Farsa. This is good coverage, almost global presence in there. High reach as well, big amount of damage from long distance. It means that if they do catch Blacklist International off guard, it will be a treat for them.
That might be one thing. That might be one thing that Red Canids has over Blacklist, the range. I can see certain situations wherein Blacklist is chasing, and because of that holy healing, Red Canids just gets away with a lot. I guess that's why I remember now seeing some MPL Brazil matches wherein the scoreline would be something like 2-3 in 15 minutes.
Oh.
Well, it's because they play so safe, Red Canids specifically. So I guess that's why they get into their rivals' heads. Vivo K-Star so much. That's why they keep winning those big grand finals, because they understand. They know the cat and mouse game. They understand the dynamic.
Yeah, they're basically playing to wait for the mistakes to come from their enemy, from their opponents here. But yes, we're still in a technical pause right now. I do want to remember everyone back at home who are watching, please do be patient with us. Obviously here at the M3 World Championships, fair play is the #1 priority. So if there are any connection issues or maybe just any issues whatsoever, we want to get that through first. That's why the pause is here. So please do be patient with us, everyone who is watching. We are just as excited as you to get into the games as well.
Yep, hopefully this is the first of the last
First
that
and
we
the
go
last,
through.
yeah.
Yeah, because this is again just a best of one, ladies and gentlemen. A best of one, meaning this lineup here, the 5v5 between the very mobile, very fast, very kiting lineup by Red Canids going up against, as Mirko put it, front to back, just all in strat by Blacklist. It's gonna matter. This is 1 point closer towards an upper bracket slot in the playoffs. I believe after the pause, we just saw a turtle take. I mean, we missed a turtle take.
Yeah, we did miss a turtle take. Not sure who got it right now. I think it is this from the side of Blacklist International right now. You know, based on the compositions, they should be able to get that. Right, yep, it is going to be Wise who picked up that turtle. So we are back in the game.
A little sliver of that turtle buff aura.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
We caught that a little bit right here, but again, both teams just playing it really, really safe right now. Blacklist International with their early game composition, they don't really want to go for crazy fights on the board. But wait a minute, Zaman Force has been popped. It's going to be Lupa Teasy instantly just taken away, and that's going to be the Razor First Blood, super sharp, coming in.
Luna could only watch there's only so much you could do as a Rafaela in that moment. Like, holy healing, yeah, I'll heal you, what, an eighth of your health? And he couldn't get away. And this is what Wolf was talking about earlier. The firepower and the lockdown from Blacklist International just miles ahead. Oheb gonna catch here a little bit of Luna's ult. Jump style to the rescue, could not lock on Oheb.
Yeah, but wait a minute though. Blacklist International trying to rotate already to the top side. They're going to go and opt to go for this gold buff instead. Again, Red Cannons, they're playing it super safe like we mentioned earlier. Maybe a little bit of an overposition from the side of Upatizi just now, but just immaculate and just beautiful, beautiful rotation from the side of Blacklist International, catching their opponents off guard. Again, now rotating to the mid lane and waiting, setting up for that second turtle of the game.
Interesting how the turtle just came back to its original spot. So as random as this is, it's great. Oh, yeah. Circling Eagle!
Circling Eagle already onto Upatizi. Seems like a little bit of a miscommunication right there as Blacklist International. They didn't really want to go for that. Venus went in, tried to go for a little bit more damage as they set up towards the turtle. Wise already hitting on that. And Frost needs to be careful here. We'll just try to, withstand the wave, try to handle and keep the wave at bay.
Mount Shocker just in time to see Blacklist take it. Turtle Lane brought to you by the STB. Now, Red Cane is putting a little bit more pressure up top.
Yeah, there you go. It's going to be the Oheb coming in for the Zaman Force, but look at that. The crossbow tank has been popped. Oheb caught very, very low right now, but he's going to be taken very low as well. Yin Yang overturn, and the Circling Eagle will be able to get the kill back onto Upatizi. 0-0 right now in the 5th minute of the game.
I keep talking about the whole Red Canids just kiting Blacklist International, but it seems like it's a switch of roles here because it's Canids who keep walking into Blacklist. Now another fight in mid, not gonna happen, not gonna blow up just like that because it's the wrong configuration of heroes. There's no lockdown. Luna is not here. Luna's not here to stun Blacklist, and wow, look how much work Blacklist put into this mid lane turret already.
Yeah, look at that. Holy Baptism is able to connect onto Edward. Unfortunately, there is a guiding wind to get him out of that one. Red Cannons already now 1,000 gold behind of Blacklist International just from the pickoffs and the turret gold alone. Again, like you mentioned, that mid turret has been taken down quite a bit, and they have already started to rotate here to the top side. With them trying to go for a pickup, maybe Zaman Force has been popped. Venus not in the position to go for the Circling Eagle, but that's what they wanted, just the turret, and they are playing this really, really smart, really, really intelligently as they will make their way to the mid lane once again. Haji opening up the map for us. Wise and Haji taking down the second turret of the game.
So clean, Blacklist International eating good here. Wise goes ahead, steals that orange.
That's his welcome now, going in. It's in a 1v4. Crossbow tank has been popped, but Wise in a 1v4 is able to win. What is going on, man? The backup coming in from Edward as Luna will be able to finally pick off Wise. It is a 3-for-1 trade for the side of the Filipinos.
One, because Luna's passive just took Wise out on the way, despite the guiding winds getting him back. But you're right, like, the first 2 minutes was relatively close, but Blacklist knew exactly what they needed to do. They isolated the XP lane. They foresaw the pressure that was going to be put on Oheb because of how early it is. And Wolf, here's the answer to your question earlier. It's a flicker. Yeah. It's not a purify yet. Oheb is still dominating. Oheb is still winning. And I think it's also because he knows that he had backup.
Yeah. We can see from the instant replay, Jumpstyle already committing his dash. And he can even like confidently hit onto Wise because he's looking for Edward. Edward snuck in at the right moment. Just the moment he saw that Heesun Shin, he popped his combo and Heesun Shin is gone. Especially because the dash is already used.
Yeah, this is basically Blacklist International in a nutshell. They suffocate their opponents, right? They use the little bit of pressure everywhere on the map to just slowly but surely take you out of the game. And right now, that's exactly what they're doing. Just clean, crisp gameplay, playing all the side lanes properly. Wave control is just amazing from this team. But look at that, on the top side, they are already going for the engage. Yin Yang overturn, connecting onto Upatizi, still able to get away with that Aegis. But the pressure is up for the side of Blacklist International. They will be able to pick up the third turtle and that orange buff as well.
100% turtle take rate. Jump style is hungry. Jump style lucky to get his purple because again, back to back to back, turtle has spawned here on the lower quarter of the map. And right now, top lane, Oheb is just, look at this. Oheb versus Luna couldn't even protect the turret. This is Frost just doing damage control. He knows something's up. He knows they're in trouble. because they can't see Edward.
Blue team
Oh,
turret
Edward
has
isn't
been
even part of this
destroyed.
fight. There's one happening down bottom.
Yeah, they're playing the side waves really, really well, but wait a minute, it's gonna be Ohem jumping into the Zaman Force, jumping all the way, has the flicker ready, but it's gonna be jump style
hero
instead,
has been
taken down.
slain.
Luna forced to back away, and again, Blacklist suffocating their opponents, playing it so well, getting the 1-for-0 picks all across the map, all from that wave control, man. That wave manipulation is now, but the airstrike will be used to try to clear the wave as Akashi goes back in. Venus, caught in the bad situation, needs to be careful here because that is a 4-man gank. Oh my, Venus going for the circling eagle, unable
Blue
to
team
get
turret
away,
has
and
been
that's going to be
destroyed.
one
Hero
picked up
has
by
been
Upatizi.
slain.
Not sure if it's worth it, but obviously, Oh My Venus played it to isolate mid to get that push, close to taking it down, opening it up for Wise down bottom, despite the man-to-man defense by Akashi. So overall, a life for a turret this early on, 9 minutes in the game. I'd say it's worth it. But there's something with this map, there's something with this best of one because Lord is also going to be on the lower quarter. So I guess that's why they tried to open up these two side lanes to get just as fast a major objective as possible. Akashi just pushing back the rest of Blacklist International. Wise more than happy to welcome him. And Orange once more,
Oh,
denied.
Because Wise is level 13 and Jumpstyle is just a level 11. So the retribution for Wise is definitely much stronger. And you saw how Red Cannons really just crumbled to that pressure. I mean, Jumpstyle even called his supports for that orange buff, but they weren't able to make it. So much real estate that they're losing at now for Red Cannons. And I would say this is not the way you play Uranus, because the way that you play Uranus is always far forward against your team. Split pushing, maybe getting 2 lanes, just cutting the creep wave, you know, the Kenji play that he was trying to do. I mean, I think only the Filipinos know about the Kenji play, but basically it's a Uranus that cuts 2 lanes of minions in the opponent's base.
We saw the Kenji play at M2.
That's
it
right.
was in the last
That
World
was there.
Championship, so it's basically just a deep cut. Yeah. It's a deep cut, but I think it's too late right now, not the perfect timing. Look at this, Red Canids putting their own Ube. This is the Brazilian Ube.
Yeah, the Brazilian Ube right here is Wise. Actually now will be able to be zoned away for a bit, but again, like we mentioned earlier, Blacklist, this is the way they play the game. They just suffocate their opponents, playing the waves perfectly, freezing it, and not letting Red Cannons get even a little bit of gold here. In the 10th minute of the game, it is already an 8,000 gold lead for the Filipino champions.
This is gonna be crazy. You know what you saw from Red Cannons? This is the second time that they tried to go for like a lot of players. The first time they did it was 3 heroes around the orange buff, and then they did 5 heroes around the purple buff. You have to take note, buffs get stronger the more heroes around there is. And that meant that Wise can just bully them. They were grouped as 5. Jumpstyle will not be able to just like normal attack the purple buff and then rely on its retribution, because unfortunately your normal attacks will deal less damage and your retribution will always not trump Wise, because Wise is already level 15 and Jumpstyle is level 12. So that's a checkmate by 1 hero against 5 of Red Cannons.
Not to mention the tick on Wise's passive on the knife, on the Hunter passive.
Yeah.
He just ticks faster. So Blacklist International, if they decide to take something away from Red Canids, it's just almost easy pick. It's like taking candy from a baby. It's difficult. So Red Canids are trying their best here to recover, pulling their own version of the Ube. All 5 in mid. Mountain Shocker just to check where everyone is, and they see, oh no, they see that Blacklist is going for the Luminous Lord.
Man, they're so smart with this stuff, man. Look at that. They set up the slow push perfectly, timing it when the Enhanced Lord comes up, and there you go. There's just no response from Red Cannons. They can't do anything at this point. If they do try to contest, they're surely going to be wiped out. And there you go. There you have it. Blacklist International with the Enhanced Lord and a 9,000 gold lead in the 12th minute of the first game here at the M3 World Championships.
2-6, I just gotta say the kills that they got on Blacklist were, one was a distraction kill, the other was just a deep dive by Wise. So far I can say Blacklist International hasn't committed any errors. This is a clean game for them.
Yeah, definitely. Only Blacklist International, they're very famous with their Matilda Airlines, and Oh My Venus really dons that Matilda. And we were talking about how this will be like a duo or a trio in the mid lane, wherein the supports and the jungler will join out together and just get kills and make the plays on the map. Look at both the position 4 and 5 of Blacklist International. Both of them have 100% kill participation, right? This is how you can say that your support duo is doing wonders.
It's insane, honestly, right now with the Enhanced Lord marching that top side. Venus will try to zone them away from this, but he's got to be careful because Red Cannons, they have the abilities ready and up right now. But the airstrike being used, but Enhanced Lord will march into that inhibitor turret. There's nothing Red Cannons can do as of this moment. They're going to be able to take that inhibitor turret and that tier 2 in the mid lane out for nothing. There is nothing on the board for Red Cannons to do or even trade for.
Top lane already penetrated. Bottom gonna follow through. It looks like Blacklist International is just going by this in surgical precision. They know that Lord is coming up in about 2 minutes and change, so they're slowly taking bottom first. They're gonna chip down bottom to go harder. Now Oheb, he wants a head here.
Yeah, look at that. Bravest Spider being used to the backside as Oheb jumps back and forth. It is gonna be him zoned away, but the stun does connect to jump style, stops them in their tracks right now as Blacklist will just go, move on to the purple buff. Jump style will be zoned away. Luna gets taken down, and that's gonna be another kill picked up from the side of Blacklist. Oheb picking up that purple buff, and they're looking to end the game right here, right now. 14 minutes on the clock. Let's see what they can do.
What Red Cannons can do here is basically find the one who's away from the Ube, but it's not gonna happen because of the guiding winds, and they're still going. There's another fight.
There's another fight indeed. Haji goes in, picks up the kill. Jumpstyle just does no damage at this point. And Blacklist, again, surgical, clinical game right now. They are not dropping anyone. They're playing it so cleanly. And you can see they are getting one turret, backing away, getting another one, playing their waves, playing their objectives. Doesn't want to leave anything, doesn't want to risk anything. That's just beautiful.
Beautiful execution from Blacklist International, especially how they did it. This was a textbook play coming up from Blacklist International. Use your Lapu-Lapu to peel the back lines, have someone, you know, separated from the opponent's team, and then peel it off. Then pick it off. And that really happened with Makashi. Knowing that he doesn't have Purify, Blacklist International went ahead and got the Uranus kill. And without the Uranus, there's really no one to face Blacklist International from Red Cannons. And I'm definitely sure that we're going to see it in the replay. You see how decisive they were on using this Lapu-Lapu as their main peel against against Red Cannons.
Yeah, Akashi had nothing to do here. Akashi has been having a difficult game. The 0-2-2 line is going to speak for itself. And yeah, he's the only one who can actually peel. Luna is not your traditional roamer. Luna is not a tank in this game. And a holy healing on a Uranus that was bullied for a majority of this game, maybe for 12, 13 minutes so far of the 16-minute bout. It's hard. So what's Akashi to do? I'm also curious because I'm sure he's getting the call here to say, okay, try to go find Oheb, try to go find Venus, take as much as you can from them, and then distract them so that maybe Jumpstyle can go find the kill and open the map up for Frost. And that's a blessing in disguise, I think, because Frost hasn't died yet. So Frost is playing a good range game, but for how long can they do this? Because now Haji just picked up the Divine Glaive. He's going to hurt all the more.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Uranus is a good front line. If you let him scale, if you get and shut him down all the way from the early stages, he is very squishy, actually. You know, he has that regeneration from his ultimate, but still, he is very squishy here. And as you can see, Blacklist once again plays and is going in for the team fight here. Strictly Eagle onto Luna. Not much going on right now as Red Cannon still able to go away, but Edward jumps in for the Bravest Spider all the way to the backside. Minute Truncheon still there as Jumpstyle actually picks up a kill onto Haji. Upatizi now going in for the kite, going in for the crossbow. Tang doesn't get it, and he's taken very low. It's going to be Oheb picking up the kill. Akashi running for the hills right now as Blacklist International are trying to go for it. Death to his welcome being popped. Not going to be able to connect onto him, but it's going to be Akashi running for the hills. It is the circling eagle to lock him down in place, and there's a Mount Force to finish him off. The killing spree now for the side of the Filipino gold laner.
Gotta appreciate what Akashi was doing, and we were wondering, what's Akashi to do? There's the answer. Just distract Blacklist International, but he can only do that for so long. There's only 2 defenders left on the side of Red Cannons. There's no way Luna's gonna survive this. It's a 2-man assault. Jumpstyle the only one left.
No way, dude. Jumps out, jumps in. Winner's Truncheon is just there as Oheb gets away. Not for long, though. He's going to get shut down, and that's going to be Red Canids still able to defend the game for now. But at what cost? They've lost everything at this point, and the Enhanced Lord is up for grabs for Blacklist International. Wolf, any thoughts on that fight?
That was Red Canids surviving by the skin of their teeth, but Blacklist International playing it so well. Fortunately for Edward, he missed his combo just because of the we call it the skateboard for the Shinshins. Boosts up his speed. That's why he was able to dodge the combo of the Lapu Lapu, but it won't matter as much. Yeah, they will survive for maybe a few minutes more, but Blacklist International will get the second Lord of the game. This will jump through the composition, the base building of Red Canids, and that's gonna be deadly. Red Canids needs to keep Frost safe for now, so that they will have the wave clear that they needed. Good shutdown from Frost, as they were able to, look at this. Look at how Jumpstart was able to get out of there. Freestyling over Edward, and he actually stunned the right guy, which was Oheb, followed up with this feathered air strike. In all due fairness for Red Canids, that was a nice defense on their part.
Yeah, right now, as we're looking at the game, honestly, if the later the game goes, the more it is going to favor Red Canids, but are they going to be able to withstand the siege? Again, it is only their base left. Akashi getting caught, still able to dash away right now. It might be the final fight of the game here. Leo and Wolf, and the S-Track hasn't popped. Edward in the midst of it all, still able to take some damage as Zaman Force hasn't popped. Oheb now jumping back and forth, trying to deal some damage, but actually, very good defense from the side of Red Canids, still able to defend the Lord, but it is going to be Edward jumping with the Bravest Fighter, connecting onto the damage. The jump style will be caught very low, but Edward will lose his immortality. Crossbow tag has been popped, but the base is going to be the target, and Blacklist International with the first win here at the M3 World Championships.
1 point ahead of the pack. This propels Blacklist to the top of Group A, and this is, again, just a best of one. Congratulations, very well played. Got a little hairy towards the end there, because we saw that Red Canids were slowly ramping up their firepower, but if you're playing up against a team like Blacklist who's seen this situation hundreds, thousands of times maybe in all of their training, they knew that they needed to just go in and out, time these passives. You can only winter truncheon so many Bravest Fighters.
Yeah, that's right. And we saw how clinical it was in the early stages. We saw how they were able to use their supporting duo, which is perfect. And we know, like, they know exactly what their win condition is. It was the jungler going with both the supports, have Oheb farm out there, use Edward for either split pushing in outside of teamfights. When teamfights do happen, have him peel the backlines, which made it so difficult for Frost. With all fairness, though, Frost played this well. He only died once. At least he was able to just give out the wave clear that they needed. But the big problem was, Edward was always the issue. Edward's positioning was always a problem. They always need to mark where Edward is.
More on this later. We're going to go in depth and break down the game here on behalf of Wolf. But Mirko, I got to say, even if it did go late, I remember you saying during the whole bout that if this goes all the way later, Red Canids might have a good chance at stealing away, upsetting the opener for M3. But there is one thing I got to say. They're down on a mechanical utility. Like, they're all just damage.
Yeah, not just that. 15,000 gold lead for Blacklist
That too.
International. What is that, honestly, right? But, Wolf, it's time, man. It's time to go in depth. What you gotta say?
You know, the thing is, we start with Razer Hammerhead, the true wireless and cutting-edge earbuds destined to dominate the soundstage. We've tried this as well. It's great. It's designed to be a dazzle in the blaze of RGB glory, and decked out with active noise cancelling and 60 ms low latency gaming mode for an audio experience like never seen or heard before. Head over to Razer.com to learn more about this, and let's learn more about a wonderful game and wonderful execution coming out from Blacklist International. And true to the hype, everybody's hyping about Blacklist International, and this is a testament on how strong this team is. Let's start with the draft as we will be seeing the item build for the team. It was a 90-minute matchup, but of course we can see the draft from this spot. Now, looking at Blacklist International, they opted to go for the bats first, which was perfect because it's a flex pick, and then eventually countered the lineup of Red Canids with this Harith on their third pick. Red Canids, now only having to choose 2 more heroes, did not even choose a hard stun to control this Harith, and it was a big problem on their part. Another problem was Red Canids actually opted to go for the War Axe first on jump style, then went for the BOD, then eventually went for the Demon Hunter sword. And now looking at Upatizi, they went in for the corrosion sight, and then eventually going for the Demon Hunter sword. Why am I talking about this? Because this was a big problem from their marksmen in the mid stages of the game, to the point where Blacklist International had so much comfort on Wise on the Barrats because there's no percent-based damage that can be a problem and be a threat for Wise. At 8-minute mark, there wasn't any item from the side of Red Canids to deal well against Wise. No anti-heal, no percent-based damage, and that is why Wise was just bullying them in the orange buff area. If you look at Red Canids, they spent so much time trying to deal well against Wise and the Barrats, but they didn't have the damage for it. And now look at that. Oh my Venus, 100% kill participation with 557 GPM on a support, on a position 5, on a roamer. That's crazy. And you know what? 12 minutes into this game, we're looking at the stat line of both Oh My Venus and his mate Haji and his partner in the mid lane. They were 100% kill participation out till 12 minutes. And I'm pretty sure that Haji's skill participation then may be reaching about 80 to 90%, and that's massive. You know exactly what your win condition is as Blacklist International, and that's what really is crazy about them. Plus points for that last pick up on the Winter Truncheon, which is perfect. Most of the heroes from Blacklist International picked up the Winter Truncheon, which is the perfect answer to the 1-1. And this 1-1 last picked by Red Canids did not favor them at all. This is crazy. I'm sure that Mirko and Leo here was impressed about that Matilda Airlines. By the way, Mirko, if you don't know yet, Matilda Airlines is a thing in the Philippines.
I know, I've mentioned it multiple times. I've been on it before, maybe, I don't know, right? But yeah, what a stellar game. 100% kill participation. Blacklist, they're a dominant team, and that man is in the center of it, man. He sets up everything for his team.
It's a good mix of the different kinds of, how do we say, vessels that Matilda Airline employs. There was a good mix of the lethal kind of Matilda from V, and of course the supporting peeling type.
We will see that in the highlights for sure. What I do like about what Blacklist International did is that they stuck to their win condition, which is to put the position 5 and position 4 together. This was I was talking about. Why stayed there for a long time with no DHS, no anti-heal on the side of Red Canids? Wise had a free game in the early stages to the mid stages of the game. If they had a little bit of those components that I was talking about, maybe Wise would be killed in that moment, but it wasn't the case. Good peeling from Edward. Look at this. He's staying on top of Frost, the Farsa, and looking at how well they deal against this one. Look at them getting in and out of the fight so that the passive of Upatizi will not proc, which also means that the ultimate cannot be popped because there's no there are no passives that proc in that particular moment. Was perfect from Blacklist International. So they dealt with the Farsa, they dealt with the Yisun Chin, and they also dealt well against this 1-1. Not get hit by the passive. This was the only time that a good ultimate from Upatizi procced, but it wasn't enough because they had Winter Truncheon already. Imagine if they fell into the trap of the 1-1 in the early stages to the mid stages of the game, which, by the way, is more than plausible because Upatizi actually got the corrosion sight at 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 13 seconds. It's a good timing for the gold laner, but he was killed 2 times afterwards, just after picking up the corrosion sight. The Blacklist International people, they know how the opposing team operates. They know what their win conditions are, and they adjust accordingly. That is a trait of a champion from the Philippines.
Well put, Wolf. Thank you so much for explaining exactly how Blacklist handily took game number 1 here, the opener at M3. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call for a break. We'll be quick. and we'll be right back with another matchup. It's going to be Malvinas versus Bedell. But before that, we would like to thank our sponsors, TikTok Alive, supported by the Singapore Tourism Board, and of course powered by Moonton. You're watching EM3 MLBB World Championships. Stay with us.
The struggles of these past years have set many of us back
on our plans and our progress.
For some of us, it will take a lot more to keep us down, to keep us from achieving our goals.
Whenever we feel like the odds are against us,
To remind ourselves there's always a way, as long as we persevere.
We will never stop.
Kaya ko to. Ilang beses mo na sinabi ito sa sarili mo. Bingi sa pagdududa ng marami. Sabi nila, wala kang mapapala dyan. Laro lang yan. Ang iyong sagot, tinawid mo anumang ilog. Inakyat mo anumang bundok. Hanggang pati ang langit ay nais mong liparin. Para lamang mapatid at mahulog sa lupa. Sinabi mo pa rin sa sarili mo, kaya ko to. Hanggang kailan? Hanggang kailan ko kayang mag-isa? Hindi kailanman. Dahil ang dalawa ay mas malakas sa isa at ang tatlong lubid ay hindi mapipigtal basta-basta. 4, 5, kaakibat, karamay, kakampi. Walang bigat ang hindi kayang pasanin. Walang balakid ang hindi kayang lampasan. Walang taas ang hindi kayang akyatin. Patungo sa tuktok. Kasama ka.
We have always looked up to people who compete and bring our country glory. We believe that we too have what it takes to make our country proud. Only through our hard work and dedication can we become Singapore's athletes and honor our nation.
Welcome to the big leagues.
En iyisi olmak için birçok şeyin üstesinden gelmelisin. Bu sadece bir oyun. Hayattan istediğin bu mu? Ailene nasıl bakacaksın?
Kadınlar boks yapamaz. Kadınlar boks yapmamalı. Kadınlar güçlü değildir. Ben farklı düşünüyorum. Sınırlamalar ve engeller onları en az beklediğimiz anda ortaya çıkar.
Ancak bizim kaderimiz bu sınırlamaların üstesinden gelmek.
I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm on a rush now, winning, that's my focus. I need some ice, you gotta cool me down. I feel my nirvana coming closer. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, tearing down the walls. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Love the adrenaline. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm on a rush now, winning, that's my focus. I need some ice, you gotta cool me down. I feel my nirvana coming closer. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide.
Let's go.
The best of Turkey versus the finest from Latin America. Let's see what MLBB Sports looks like from their parts of the world. Coming up next, it's Malvinas versus Bedell. At your service, my name is Leo, joined here by Mirko and Wolf, and this is the M3 MLBB World Championships. Gentlemen, we just saw Blacklist take the first game of the day. What are we expecting from this one?
We are expecting straight up fire from both of these regions, man. Latin America and Turkey, Bedell and Malvinas. Again, both of them are very, very raw teams, making their first, basically their debut here in the international stage. Can't wait what they have to offer.
Yep, and all of this clash of cultures, this battle for supremacy in the realm of MLBB Sports would not be possible without our sponsors. Thank you so much to TikTok Live, Singaporean Tourism Board, and of course all of this powered by Moonton. Wolf, in a tournament that's as big as M3 and you have these teams that are relatively unknown to the rest of the scene, what could be their mindset? What could be going through the heads of Malvinas and Bedell?
All right, so definitely there's a lot of pressure from their part, and it's going to be a lot of jitters since this is like a big thing. It's a world stage. They're shipped out from their country to Singapore to represent their region in the World Championship. There's a lot of pressure, and I'm pretty sure that there will be like a little bit of, maybe not a little, maybe a lot of mistakes from their part. Like the jitters will be there. Now, when it comes to how you approach the match, I'm pretty sure that most teams will just stick to their comfort. But some teams that we know in a best-of-1 match will always resolve to like pocket strategies. And I think that this is the right way for, I think, the better approach. Try to have the element of surprise against your opponents, because use that fact that you're not known by other teams. Use that kind of idea and against your possible opponents. I'm not entirely sure if that's the right, maybe the better decision, but I think the teams that stuck through their comfort picks will have the better shot at best of ones.
Yep, we're looking to see who that wild card is, who the MVP is going to be between Malvinas and Bedell. But for now, you can be the MVP of both skill and style with the Frank debit card. Out of over 60 designs, you can pick one that screams your personality or your dreams. Check it out now once more. Thank you so much, Frank, by OCBC. How interesting is that? The way Wolf put it, if you're new and nobody's aware of what exactly you're about, you got to use the element of surprise. But Mirko, here we see two teams that are relatively unknown. Big surprises. How's that dynamic gonna work? It's interesting because in the realm of Indonesian and Filipino, Malaysian, SG, MLBB, we have our MPLs. It's a game of I know you know, but for M3, and leading from the front is gonna be Faraway. I listened to their local broadcast. I don't speak Turkish, mind you, but the name Faraway just keeps coming up. So in this team where Faraway was once playing mid, who knows what role he's playing now? I gotta say, an anchor like this is super important. Do we think we're gonna see a lot of Faraway MVP plays today?
Yeah, you know, I've talked to a lot of teams during our quarantine period and during our, you know, when we were locked here in Singapore. Because here's the thing, when we were having our quarantine, a lot of teams are already screaming against each other. And I think that the rule of thumb is that teams that aren't in the same group kind of play against, you know, against each other as long as they're not in the same group. Now, I've talked to people who were able to play against the Turkish team, and Faraway really is their, I would say, the name that comes out. Every time you ask about Turkey, and particularly for Bedell, they always talk about Faraway. And this is interesting because we were talking about element of surprise and the fact that we don't know much about this team. In a way, we kind of can expect what the heroes will be for this team, right? Their composition, the way that they played their region, it was almost the same. You have your typical Hayabusa from the jungle role. You have your Alice, and actually, they really prefer mages in the gold lane. Now, the real problem here is that even when we know what their most picked heroes are, do we actually know the teams, right? It has been 2 months. They have been screaming against each other, I mean, against other regions in the past 2 weeks. So I think that we really are still left in the blind here.
Yep, we'll talk about Bedell in just a bit, but for now, here's a quick look at what the leaderboards look like. Group A, currently after a whopping 1 match to start the day off, we have Blacklist in the lead, 1 point. Aggregate, of course, they are the closest to the upper bracket, and we have the rest following through Bedell, Malvinas, and Red Canids. They are the lowest because they do have 1 loss already. They have 2 more chances to score points and hopefully make it into the upper bracket. They are representing Brazil alongside Cage Stars, but I think there's more pressure on Red. They are the champions.
Yeah, agreed. We've mentioned a lot about Bedell. Now I think it's time to move on to Malvinas Gaming, all right? Guess what? Fun fact for Malvinas Gaming, they have the youngest player here at the M3 World Championships. Adrian just turned 15 in August of this year, so a 15-year-old already representing his country here in the world stage, and that is where the questions come up, right? Is he going to be able to withstand that pressure? Because playing at home, playing on, you know, a stage, a tournament stage, and the world stage, it is very different things. The pressure, the anxiety, all these emotions come to play, and we'll have to see how this young man goes against this.
Not to add to the pressure, but it's not just his country of Peru, but even Argentina.
Yes.
Malvinas is an Argentinian org, but just the same, they're representing the rest of Latin America. So, that being said, no pressure, Adrian. The world is just watching. No pressure. You just turned 15. Happy birthday. What a great start would it be for his career, the rest of his MLBB future. What's up? I love it. They are so camera ready.
I love it, man. From these international teams, everyone seems so ready. We saw it from Red Cannons earlier on. They were, even though they're making their debut here in the world stage, they're chilling. They know that they came here as the best, as the representatives, right? So we'll have to see what this team has to offer after seeing Malvinas Gaming. No nerves whatsoever. We mentioned, you know, the pressure might get to them, but they're looking calm, they're looking cool, they're looking chill for the game against Bedell.
Yeah, Malvinas, I watched their qualifying match, and there's a lot that we could say, but there is one thing that I have to bring up. They qualified here, and they took the scenic route. What does that mean? They played 5 games. they had to go 3-2 against their opponents right before flying out for M3. So that means they are not a stranger to conflict. They are not a stranger to the struggle. On the other side, we have the gentleman from Turkey. This is Bedel on screen for you in all of their glory. I'm so curious. Exactly, Bedel, some of them look very young, and some of them just look like they could be coaches of other teams. Let's just put it at that.
True.
They have the full spectrum. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, it's a good spread.
It's a good spread.
One thing I do know about Bedel is that they smashed their competition. I mean, you were talking about how it was quite close for Malvinas, but for Bedel, I think that they did not drop any game.
Yep.
Was it? Yeah, they didn't.
It was a 4-0 against
4-0.
X7.
Exactly. And what I do know about Bedel is that they love this mage golding. And Malvinas also like that. So they love the Lunox and others competition, and that might be one thing that we can expect from Bedel as well.
But on screen right now, this is Malvinas Gaming. You have Sing, Harley, and Quinn, Adrian, the boy wonder, and Steffi. I've seen Steffi play, man. Steffi is everywhere. The kind of roam game that this guy plays is like, you can say the same for their draft, but he reminds me of Southeast Asian roamers.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Southeast Asian roamers, as we all know. Keyboy, we got Venus as well now, right? All these crazy, crazy players from the Southeast Asian region, the roamers to be exact, to be, on point right there. Steffe, yeah, I do agree with you. He does kind of looks, he has glimpses of that Southeast Asian playstyle.
More of the aggressive flavor. I've seen him just go into the jungle, not care if he steals the buff or how much seconds the opposing jungler is delayed. But yeah, those are some keys to watch out for, as well as the mid couple, or the duo of Harley and Quinn. But now, on screen, we have Bedel, Paranoid coming in through mid, Alien, Yunshi, Faraway now playing in the jungle, and Asmo.
Yeah. So this is interesting because now we have Asmo as their roamers. And then Faraway playing in the jungle. Again, we were talking about how the teams are hyping up Faraway when it comes to, like, when you bring up Bedel, always Faraway is the player that they bring up. Now, what really is interesting here is how are they going to use Paranoid this time, right? Because here's the thing with Bedel. When we asked their team, they're facing a lot of problems when they went here at Singapore because of some of the, you know what happened. I mean, I think that it's a topic that we should not be talking much about, but it is still a topic that needs to be at least recognized. They are facing problems with their lineup because they had to adjust on the fly, and that is definitely what you don't want in the world stage.
Yeah, they had to roll with the punches.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that Paranoid is here to come help out. So Paranoid come into play from mid, moving far away into the jungle. Mirko, I gotta ask you, how drastic is that? What if a mid laner, an anchor mid laner, suddenly goes into the jungle? What might this look like in terms of gameplay for Bedel?
On paper, it looks bad, right? There's no good way, positive way to say it. It does look bad for the side of Bedel. Basically rotating their entire roster. They move their mid laner to the jungle. They've moved their cold laners as well, if I am right here. But yeah, there's just so many roster changes for the side of Bedel because of those issues, and that's why I'm really curious to see how they're going to perform here, especially against Malvinas, right? Both of them really raw. Both of them don't really know each other about, they don't really know each other, and that's what we're gonna have to see. Paranoid coming in to step up for Kazoo, that unfortunately was unable to make it here to the M3 World Championships. But there you go. We have the coach for Malvinas, Santiago. We haven't seen a lot from the drafts just yet, but man, Malvinas, like you said, they're no stranger to going against opposition, right? To facing opposition. And this man has been the core of it, in the background, doing all the homework, getting all the right picks for his team to be able to utilize that power.
A little bit of trivia. Santiago, when you translate it roughly into English, equals James.
Ooh.
So they have their own coach, James. I looked it up. It was something I heard as a child. Because
Fun fact.
Yeah, no, because Spanish is close to the Filipino, right? So the same translations happen. So Latin America, they have their own coach, James. Coach Santiago.
I'm pretty sure that there is a person like named James Santiago. And
James Santiago. So it's James.
James.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. One thing I do know about Malvinas is that their play style is almost the same with their quote-unquote neighbors. So you see a lot of Lunax, see a lot of Aldous, and a lot of slow play from their part.
Yep. But for now, we would like to go ahead and say thank you to Singtel, our official network partner. Unlock extra response, ultra responsive gaming with 2 times lower latency and get the edge you need while gaming on the go with Singtel 5G, SG's most powerful 5G network. In our downtime here at M3 and even all the way back in the hotel, Singtel's got us covered.
That's what we've been using to play our ranked games, man. That's why we've been winning so much here. Singtel 5G. But yes, now back to the game, back to the teams. Paranoid. This man, you know, we spoke a lot about Faraway, about Adrian, but I am most interested to see Paranoid as a replacement coming in here to the world stage. Yep. What will it, you know, what impact will he have on the team, right? Especially as a mid laner, a core member. Like we've seen in the Blacklist game, we know that the mid laner and the roamer, they have a very crucial role here in this meta, right? So if the mid lane falters, you can basically say that the rotations will all be altered, will all be stopped.
Yeah, no. Shot calling coming in from the jungle, coming from far away, dare I say even coming maybe from Asmo, it's not going to be the same. Yeah. Things are going to change here. Asmo, the way I've seen him play, he's basically capable of putting himself in 2 different places at the same time. So he has to play these mobile heroes. He has to play these roams and supports that are able to answer to the needs of Alien and Yunshi. And between those 2 players, I gotta say, Alien is the more reliable. Alien is just able to...
He's an alien.
Well, yes. Sometimes you would say that his gameplay is Alien from Turkey. Because again, nothing against the other regions, but when you say Southeast Asian player, it becomes a standard for Mobile Legends Pro play, right? So I would say that Alien looks like he could play in these other leagues. Between that, I gotta say Yunshi, it's a role. It's a role. The games that I've watched him play, he could sometimes just take over, just carry the rest of Bedell. Some other games, he becomes a lightning rod.
All right. I want to say these 2 teams, I think that we already mentioned that they kind of want to play slow. And to add to what you're saying about Southeast Asian standard, I'm seeing 2 schools of thought in Southeast Asia. There's the aggressive team and there's the macro-based team. I would say that they're more on the it's weird, right? They're kind of in the middle. They're not really macro intensive. At the same time, they're not really that aggressive. So it makes me wonder what their spot will be in the Southeast Asian meta, which part of the spectrum they belong to.
Yeah. And again, we're just using SEA as a standard. It's just because MLBB is more developed here. So it's a nice way to see how far teams have come. And you brought up this nice comparison between the macro team and the aggressive team, the mechanically gifted teams. But there is something I must say about Malvinas specifically. When we watch their drafts, when we study their drafts, it seemed like they were playing on many different layers. Yeah. They were able to pull out certain heroes and answer certain problems that weren't even there to begin with until you saw it.
Absolutely. On that note, though, I do have a question that I want to put out there, all right? Do you guys think that it'll be a fast game or a long game? We saw it earlier. Blacklist International, even though they were very dominant in the early game, it still took them 19 minutes to close out a game. Is that just the meta right now? Or do you think that Bedell and Malvinas, they're just going to go stomp each other out, go for the early game? Whoever wins that early game will get the victory because... Again, like you mentioned, we don't really know what their strengths are. That goes for the coaches as well. They haven't done a lot of homework for any of these teams, so I'm just really excited to see what happens and, you know, maybe some thoughts on that.
Slow or fast, Wolf? Slow or fast?
Very slow.
Very slow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm glad that we have made haste and are now in the draft. Malvinas on the play, Bedell answering back. There goes the Popoling Koopa, which is an Asmo special.
Yeah, all right. Popo and Koopa already banned away from the side of Malvinas Gaming. Bedell taking away Matilda right here,
It is
but it is
better
going to be
to
the
be
Amon,
fearful.
right?
Your
We
team is
mentioned this
banning.
earlier as well.
If you
Amon,
cannot
this
cross.
is going to be one of the heroes that might be prio, might be pick or ban here in the M3 World Championship. But in the first game, we didn't see Amon picked or banned at all. This time, though, Malvinas, they might not like going against this hero, going instantly for the ban.
Totally snubbed game 1, if I remember correctly. But the case is, I'm just making an assumption here. Maybe if Amon were part of
Your
this
team
formula,
is banning.
it could be the outlier. It could be what speeds up the game, because we are expecting a slow game. Both teams would want to have their cores farm up. But if there was an Amon, if there was a Hayabusa, a foot, just assassin shenanigans, it'll totally wreck the other team's strategy. So I get it. I understand what they're doing here.
And big question mark here is the Popol and Koopa. I guess the way that this works is that this is a special for Bedell, and I think that Leo answered that perfectly well. Makes me wonder what if the Popol and Koopa was even a choice for the other teams now. And the straight up answer is yes. And we have been asking a lot of teams out there.
Among the
they were
planes.
saying
Your
how Popol
team
and Koopa
is
can be
banning.
instrumental in the gold lane with a weapon master, the meta game that we have right now. But we did not see it in the first game. We will not see it again in the second game. Perhaps as the games progress, we'll see this pick up. For now, though, the remaining choices are Ling. The Paquito is open. Farsa is also open for both teams. And I think that the Ling, just looking at the bans of Bedell, I think the Ling is their second choice of ban.
There you go, but no,
Oh,
it's
it's
actually
Estes.
going to be the Estes
Oh my
here
goodness.
for the side of Bedell, going and finishing up, wrapping up their banning phase. It is going to be Malvinas now with the first pick. Like you mentioned just now, it is going to be the Paquito. Yisun Shin, maybe even Farsa opened up for Malvinas. What do they want to go for right now? Perhaps, I believe Yisun Shin is a very good first pick, but
Yeah,
it is also very easily countered.
Exactly. I mean, I think it's a toss-up between Paquito and Ling here for Malvinas. What I do like about Paquito is that it can fit in any composition. It can be played as a jungle, can be played as the XP lane, sometimes can be played in the gold lane, and will not be surprised if it was a position 4 in the mid lane, actually. That means that Yisun Shin is the choice.
Yeah, no. Say what you will about it being easily countered or scaling out, but it's hard to beat Mountain Shocker when it matters.
True,
Oh my
exactly. The
goodness.
utility that Yisun Shin provides, not just the damage, not just the farming, but also that utility. But instantly the answer for the side of
Your
Patel,
team
the
is
Clint
picking.
and the Farsa, both of the double S tier heroes in Wolf's tier list will come out here for the side of Patel, and that is a scary combination, man.
So
Scary
much
combination.
firepower.
Exactly.
The reach is there. All right, so just looking at the laning stage, there's so much long distance firepower from Bedell already, so much poke, and they're not even kidding with the damage output. This is very strong. It's great versus the Yisun Shin, and Clint can also win almost any matchup in the gold lane. Now, Malvinas, I do love this Selena pick.
Oh yeah.
It is great for vision. Imagine like landing an arrow, then the Mountain Shocker will be there for the follow-up so that they can easily finish the kill and complete the team fights. And there's the Rafaela. See the YSS Rafaela combo. So far, we've seen it before.
It's
Your
so good.
team
It's
is
so
banning.
good. Malvinas, again, we talked about how their draft is layered, and now we're seeing it in action right now. They can just have so many wombo combos in just these first 3. In just these first 3, they own the map.
I really like the compositions for both of the teams. I really like the heroes that they're going for. Again, let's speak a little bit about Malvinas, right? They have the late game hero, they have that Yisun Shin, right? But they also layer it with the Selena, with that good pick, and the synergy with the Mountain Shocker and the traps to open up the map. So they will have a lot of map control. But on the other side, though, if you get into a skirmish or a team fight, that is a scary composition for the side of Patel. They have a lot of firepower, like Leo put.
team is
And
banning.
now it's going to be the Paquito banned away from the side of Patel, taking it away from Malvinas.
For the longest time, this last pick on the side of Bedell, the Yuzhong was the natural predator of the Yisun Shin. But based on recent performances, sometimes the Yisun Shin can just completely dodge him. So we're going to see here how
Your
Bedell
team is
uses
banning.
their firepower, again, almost literally with the dragon here, the black dragon in Yuzhong. Taking out more assassins. Okay, how about it? Let's just get rid of all of them. The Ling. No one's diving us.
Yep. Which is great because you want to go for a marksman lineup for MVG. I mean, your composition is mainly based on this Isin Shin, which is the natural marksman. Maybe they'll get another gold laner in a marksman role because that's the only way that you can counter this Clint. I'm looking at the other heroes that can be available in the pool. We're only looking at mages like Lilia on the gold lane for MVG, or maybe a Brody. But that is counterproductive because those two heroes that I mentioned either might be banned out or will be countered by the Yuzhong. Yeah, like I said, Brody is the only choice here for MVG in the marksman role to kind of lane against this Clint, but it wasn't. It was already banned out. So what do you go now if you're MVG? I think your destination is a gold lane, is a mage gold lane.
Lunox looking yummy right now.
Yeah, the Lunox can come through, but also maybe even a fighter in the gold lane, you know, providing them a more of the front line, right? Because right now in their composition, they don't have a front liner.
A Lapu Lapu in the gold lane would be great. That would like give Bedell less incentive to try and dive the Yusin Shin because there's someone from the back just looking to assassinate the Farsa. And that's just the relationship that these two heroes have. It's just, if there's a Lapu Lapu, he's going to hunt down the Farsa.
Your team
There you go, Kufra getting picked up for the side of Bedell. They really want to go for these hard engages, man. They really want to go for these crazy skirmishes now. With that Kufra locked up, they have Kufra and Yuzhong. Insane engage here for the side of the Turkish representatives. But now back again to Malvina's Wolf.
Yeah, I think you go Lunox or Lilia for your gold lane, or maybe somewhere along the lines of Lapu Lapu, like you mentioned. Although Lapu Lapu will be great in the XP lane for Malvinas. The only choices that they have right now will be Lapu Lapu, Esmeralda, or maybe even the Damsel. The Damsel might not be the case. They also need that team fight too. Maybe a Phobius could be a choice now for Malvinas.
They need something else that deals more damage. So it's one sustain, one damage. And there it is. It's exactly that.
There you go.
The glue gonna try to catch the Clint or the Farsa. And then you have Beatrix, who has just recently been unlocked. Beatrix for the longest time had issues being used in competitive play, but now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, it's only Valentina who's not allowed. So, I'm so happy to see the pink-haired menace.
I agree, man. It's been too long, honestly, since we've seen this Beatrix on the stage. But now, finally, we are going to see the Beatrix and the glue as well. So they have covered that front line that they needed, right? They didn't have the front line now taken away. And there you go. As we have mentioned many times before as well, Roger has been the heroes after a new patch that has gone basically skyrocket to the top here. Maybe even a pick or ban. We spoke about it in the behind the scenes, right? But now it is going to be the pickup for the side of Bedell. Full, hard engage fights. That's what they want to do. And for the side of Malvinas, they might want to go for a little bit more pick.
But for the longest time, Beatrix is considered to not win against Clint. But most of the gold laners nowadays, they go for a sniper on that Beatrix. Renner, when used in the laning stage against the Clint, is arguably better at poking and laning against Clint. This is interesting choice for the side of Bedell, of Malvinas, I mean. Because they also picked up the glue, which I want to say I don't like against the Yuzhong. Yuzhong can just destroy the split. What do you call them? The glue links? Yeah, we'll call it glue links. But yeah, he's just going to eat it up. Plus, Yuzhong is going to be perfect against this two marksman setup for the side of Malvinas. So, I don't want to say it. I hate to say it, but Bedell is going to have a better time.
There you go, but are you guys ready to get into the second match? Because we have entered the Land of Dawn. So far, Bedell just going for the normal routes right now. Not really going for any aggressive plays just yet, but there is already a pause call right now. Little Wanderer will be taken away by Bedell for now. Pause call has been put out of there, but it's going to be Alien actually dodging away, getting in with the Petrify. Steffi still able to flicker out of that as the Abyssal Arrow will be able to connect. The Flame Shot, though, will be able to snipe down Steffi, and that's going to be another first blood go into the hands of the red team.
Razor brought to y'all. Interestingly enough, it's already happening. Wolf said it's going to be Bedell who's having a great time. And yes, of course, they get their purple buff. They go straight into the Little Wanderer. Yeah. And this kind of equalizes the vision and map presence game that Malvinas brought in. Yeah. Now, I'm wondering, in that gold lane matchup, you did say that if you go with Renner on Beatrix, you kind of answer Clint. You kind of say, okay, we're going to play on the same...
Playing field again.
Yeah, on the same plane now, because that turns Beatrix into another spell casting type marksman.
Yeah, that's right. And also the Pope is going to be there. I'm not entirely sure if the Rafaela already parked himself up top, which means the laning matchup will be even better for the side of Malvinas. What I do like about the choice here for Bidel is that Clint is such a strong hero when you get Yuzhong. When you see Yuzhong, you always say, oh, this will be a team fight. When you see Kufra, okay, this is a team fighting team. When you see Farsa, that's also the truth. So everyone from Bidel wants to fight as soon as possible, and Clint will be the right option for the gold laner. They complement well with the initiations from Yuzhong and Kufra. This is a lineup that when Yuzhong or Kufra goes in, there will always be damage because both Farsa and Clint have good range anyways.
Absolutely. And you know what I do want to put again out there for the side of Malvinas is they want to split up the map. They want to isolate their targets, their opponents here. Whereas, like you mentioned, Wolf, for the side of Patel, they want to go play for the ganks, play for the trades in the early game, get a lead, and then play with that lead.
Which, luckily enough, they have the toolkit to do so.
Exactly.
They have full vision. They have the Selena. They also have Glue, who can get out of the stickiest situations, all puns intended. I think it's really just the Adrian. Oh wow, happy birthday again, young man. To survive a lethal encounter with, say, just even the Roger and the Farsa. Like, just those two, it's going to be very difficult for Beatrix to expend all of her resources to survive.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's going to be really, really hard for the side of Malvinas to try to split up the map. Because sure, they have the vision, they have the utility, they have the pick style, basically, of composition to do it. But the thing is, they don't have any strong side laners. Beatrix, sure, he's strong, but going against Clint, it's basically kind of equal, right? But against Glue, and maybe even get the better split push going.
Yep, and looks like they're about to meet here. Arrow mist coming from Harley. I gotta say, bottom lane, for the first 5 minutes, we can expect for that, except for turtle takes, of course, that to be a deadlock. There's a sound I make when XP laners just bump into each other. Look, nothing's gonna happen here. They're just sustaining each other. It's like a dance-off. There's no true violence. It's just nothing.
Yeah, that's a fun way to put it right there. The Abyssal Arrow misses once again far away, trying to open up the map. As you can see, the Abyssal Arrows have been placed already from the side of Malvinas, trying to open up the map even more. But right now, Badel, they do have the pressure, they do have the tempo to play for a first turtle that is going to be spawning right there. Brought to you by TikTok Live. Roger's going to start it up. It is going to be the Yuzhong already zoning away Steffi from the turtle, and it looks like it will be Badel picking the turtle for nothing. No contest whatsoever. Malvinas just going and trying to lane properly. They did get the pressure in the bottom side. So a little bit more pressure for their team to play with.
You see how good Bidel actually used their Yuzhong. They fast cleared the XP lane so quickly that Alien was already able to position himself in that pixel bush near the turtle. And right then and there, it was already checkmate. Bidel they have the positioning advantage, they have a little bit of gold advantage, and the team fight as well is perfect. They know the tools that they need to have. They put themselves in those spots wherein they will be able to check their opponents. Such a perfect execution. That is why the turtle was cleanly taken by Bidel.
And this early on, I have to say, 3 minutes in, it doesn't even look like they lost their jungler.
Yep.
It looks like Bidel had a backup plan all this time. Like plans on plans on plans.
Yeah, they know everything that's going on the map, basically. They know where to rotate, and there you go. Again, they're already pressuring inside as the Feather Airstrike will be popped. Paranoid dodging away, and far away, he's going to go for the kill. It is going to be the flame shot, whiffing just for now, but Badel, they've gone pressure in that top side, will be able to get that gold buff out of the way. And look, even the Yi Sun-shin is having trouble in his own jungle. This Kufra, this team, they're playing really, really well, and there you go. It's going to be Osmo going in for the Titan's Revenge, able to get the stun up, as that's going to be far away. Picking up the purple buff and looking for the kill. Oh, fade away. My goodness, nasty by far away.
Fade away takedown by far away. They're gonna zone out Harley here. Paranoid with the feathered airstrike, and that's a lot of free hits on the energy shield.
Oh my god, taking down an outer turret energy shield the mid lane so quickly. 3 minutes in. That's great. Definitely for Badel.
huge for Bedell right now, but it is going to be Alien jumping in. Split, nothing. It's just a dance-off for now. The Furious Dive will be able to ensure his safety, but Sing, he's going to go in for more. He's going to bring back, he's going to bring the U-Down back, and the damage will come through for the side of Malvinas. And there you go. It's going to be a kill picked off, and Malvinas have finally been able to isolate their targets right here. Second turtle already spawned by TikTok Live, as Bedell has just been munching on it.
It's so well timed for Bedell, I gotta say. Understood. They knew that Alien, his assignment was distract him so that we have a free turtle take, and Faraway just goes. Faraway wants to take out Steffi.
There you go, man. It's going to be Steffi running for the hills right now, but Faraway, he's going in. He's hungry for the damage, but it's going to be them. Oh, the misplay is coming in from Bedell, and that's going to be Faraway taken off. A little slight mistake, and instantly Malvinas capitalizes on it.
The hesitation, you saw there was a bit of hesitation in Faraway, and it's the first time we've seen it in this 5-minute bout that Faraway wasn't sure. I gotta say, this might be Malvinas' window.
You cannot hesitate if you're Roger. If you're Roger, you're a very all-in kind of hero. And if you smell blood, you just take it. You don't think twice, because any window, any split second that you hesitate, you see yourself making those mistakes. And that's exactly what happened with Bedell. Now, Yunchi is it's actually 3.4K compared to Adrian at 3.4K. So it's quite even in the gold lane department when it comes to the jungle, though. It is clear that Faraway has got more gold over Quinn, especially with the XP as well. And Bedell actually is leading now by 2,000. And look at that, Faraway. Like we said, what's the kill?
Again, Lycan Pounce being used, but Zing with that split just so tanky. And instantly you can see the rotations coming in from Malvinas Gaming. They know how to play this draft. They're going and splitting up the map, already rotating to the top side. But Zing will be able to get out of a 2v1 play, canceling and clearing out the waves right now. As Faraway actually will still be able to deal some damage, gets the Mountain Shocker off. No trades just yet for the side of Malvinas, as Bedell has picked up their second turret in this game.
In the 6-minute bout, I can tell that we're feeling the after effects of the changes on Selena. At any given time, there's only so few traps, and that's making this map for Bedell even more accessible, I might say. Because Malvinas, we see their kit. It should be that they're controlling where people go. They should say, Bedell, you can do this, you can go here. But Bedell currently, they're going around the map like they own the place.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're going around the place, they're going around the map like they own it, man. Malvinas, they haven't been able to do anything about it, right? Bedell, they've been the proactive team throughout this game so far in the 6th minute. Malvinas, they've just been trying to, respond to it. They go to the other side of the map, which is really good, but again, you're losing way more than you're trading here. And there you go, another engage coming in from Sing, trying to open up the map for his team, goes in for the split. It's gonna be a lot of damage placed onto him, but Sing is still able to deal some damage onto Osmo. It might be him picked off right now, and there you go. It's gonna be the pickup coming in from Sing, going in for the 1v3 play as the Holy Baptism connects on the 2, and his damage is going to be enough. Harley picks up 1, not enough for Faraway though, as the turnaround comes in, and Bedell picks up the kill, but Adrian, waiting in that bush in the purple buff, will be able to catch Faraway, and boom, bada bing, 5-3 in the scoreline.
Oh no! Marksman, he's gonna let go. He knows that he has to change his priorities. For the first time in a while, in that long exchange, Malvinas now coming out ahead. They've caught up to their net worth. They have taken a turtle for themselves. Sing has pushed top lane. It's looking great. We're going back and forth here, back and forth. It's too early to say that Bedell is completely in the lead. Let's see that last moment one more time.
I am pretty sure that this instant relay from Singapore to Board will reveal that wonderful Holy Baptism. It was actually started by an arrow just flying around, and they were able to sustain themselves. Unfortunately, Faraway saved, will be keeping himself safe, but the Beatrix are actually hiding in that bush. And like Leo said, they have caught up. They were able to take the turtle, and they have cut the deficit into just maybe under 1,000 gold up until this point. They also got more kills now. But one thing that they need to fix is their turrets. Malvinas Gaming needs to take turrets now, and Bedell, they're taking over the map just because of the turrets that they were able to take.
Yeah, the pressure that Bedell has right now, just based on the 3 turrets that they have gotten, has been huge for them. Even though Malvinas have the kill lead, it hasn't been able to account to much in terms of objectives right now. They were able to secure the 3rd turtle of the game, but without turrets, you just simply don't have enough pressure to play around the map. So it is still going to be Bedell with the proactive movements on the map as Osmo goes in for the Tyrant's Revenge. Steffi's going to get caught very, very low, but another good Holy Baptism comes in. Yushi will be able to finish him off, and that's going to be Harley as well, picked up 2-0.
Good good. I'd say great. And they're still going.
Oh, they're still going, and there the damage coming in. Osmo still able to dash away as Zing goes in for the chase. Unfortunately, not able to do anything. The pressure fight comes in, and the combo wombo is there. Far away going in for some damage as Alien picks up the kill, and Bedell has just equalized in kills.
Faraway has found the way. He knows that I can no longer hesitate. You go in, you get the killing spree triggers, and you keep going.
Yeah.
You go, and it's soon enough that Bedell once more gets back into the driver's seat. Just like that.
It's crazy to think that Alien is actually a predator here, hiding and just bouncing around.
Yeah, but look at that. Zing actually going very aggressively, flickering to the backside. Paranoid still able to dash away with Wings by Wings as far away. Joins in the team fight. Still has the split. But Alien jumps in for the Fierce there for the re-engage. Holy Baptist connects onto one as Amo goes in, and the damage will be enough from Adrian. Zing somehow still manages to survive that. And Malvinas Gaming, they've come out on top in the Lord Pit fight.
Oh, the arrow!
Oh, nope. Asmo's fine. Asmo's fine. Oh, the trap trigger almost. They have soft reset this Lord, but they're still here. Wolf, is this the right call? Should both teams still continue and try?
Definitely the right call for Malvinas because they know that most of Bedell just went around. But the Lord has been reset, so this is no longer a fight that Malvinas should be fighting.
Yeah.
They spent so much.
Yep.
They did. They spent so much. Both teams spent so much. But in the end, it's still Bedell coming out on top because of that pressure, because of the setup that they managed to do here. All of the side lanes were pushed down right before that team fight, right before that Lord. So even when Malvinas came out on top, they weren't able to capitalize on anything. And there you go. Bedell just restarts the Lord like nothing happened. But Osmo, he's waiting in that bush. He's going to go in. Tyrant's Rage connects onto Zing. Not any follow-up just yet, as they will just go and retreat for now.
This is the only way that Malvinas can start to dictate the pace. It has to be Singh who finds people, and then it has to be Steffi with the perfect holy baptism. That aside, Bedell being ahead by 1,000 gold doesn't mean much. It's more of the way that they're rotating. It's more of the way that they're picking out these fights, saying where Paranoid can draw the perimeter and who Alien and Asmo can catch. And then Faraway and Yunji just finish.
Yeah. And that was what we sequencing from Malvinas. What they can do, what you always do against a team fight based composition is just to force them to use their ultimates early on. And what we saw from the previous fight before they let go of the Lord is that the use of dragons already expended. And this is exactly what they need to do.
There you go. It's going to be actually the pickup coming in, as that's going to be the trade 1-for-1. Osmo still able to dash away with the Feather Airstrike coming in, is able to zone away some members from Malvinas, but the Holy Healing comes in to get that additional sustain. And there you have it once again. Malvinas come out on top by isolating every single member, getting the pickoffs, and now they are already starting up this Lord. Although they won't commit to it, this is a good sign for Malvinas. They are still alive.
It's still a trade though. Alien for Harley. Malvinas won that because Alien just puts on so much for the table. He offers so much damage, so much control, sustainability for Bedell. So if Malvinas keeps doing this, if Malvinas keeps on finding these targets the right way, Yunchi and Paranoid are secondary threats. It's really Bedell's willingness. If you're able to take the fight out of the kid, then you're winning. It's not taking the kid out of the fight.
I agree with that, man. Taking the fight out of the kid right now is, again, Bedell trying their best to get the pressure done. But Malvinas, they have this pick potential that is just so huge that Bedell, they're really scared to go to the side lanes. They're really scared to get picked up, and that's exactly what Malvinas wants to do. Play the map with the pressure that they have, with the utility that they have from the Mountain Shocker and that Abyssal trap from Harley.
I feel the paradox that Bedell is in. Because one, yeah, they want to open up the rest of the map. But two, if they do that, they would be so much easier to pick off. Because we're at the point where it's Harley and someone, or Steffi and someone, that's an automatic kill. That's the level of firepower that Malvinas is playing with right now. That being said, where does the paradox come in is because if you do split up, or if you do ube too much, you open up the free Lord.
Yeah, and looking at just talking about the Lord take and how important it is, it has been reset so many times to the point now where it reaching 12 minutes, which means that the Lord will have that jump, which is badly needed. Makes it even more crucial to secure that Lord for both teams. We were talking about how good it is, how easy will it be when it comes to just the ease of execution for of Bedell, because they have the usual ultimate, they have Farsa, they have Kofra, all good team fights all over for the side of Bedell. But once Malvinas force them to commit those ultimates, like for example the Black Dragon form, or maybe the Tyrant's Rage, if that is used too early for the side of Bedell, Malvinas can just take over. And they have the glue for perfect peeling. They have so much damage from a Beatrix and Yi Shin so that the stuns can be set up. Imagine this, the glue goes for the grab, and you go for an immediate arrow afterwards from very long distance. You can go for that setup and then just take down the members of Bedell one after another.
And it doesn't even have to be in that order. You can actually start with the arrow and then catch them with the grab, or face check into a holy baptism, go for the grab. So now we see the fruits of their labor. Malvinas, they sowed and now they reap. Or they reaped and now they sowed. One or the other. But basically, they drafted for a difficult early game, and now we're in the mid game. It's theirs to lose.
Yeah, both teams, honestly, they have an equal chance of winning this game right now. We mentioned earlier, I mean, Wolf mentioned earlier that Bedell has a strong composition, right? I completely agree with that, but so far, Malvinas, they've been putting up a very good fight, you know? There's so many crazy, intense moments where it looked like Bedell was the one to win the team fight, but Malvinas with a turnaround, with the crazy positioning. We saw just now Adrian with the Beatrix. Did you see that what happened when he was waiting in the purple buff? That was just so intelligent by the 15-year-old boy, the wonder boy coming in from Latin America.
Yeah. I'm scared to say that Malvinas can itemize easily against Bedell. This is one thing that maybe we didn't talk about much. If we're looking at Bedell, the spread of damage is just mainly on physical now. Looking at Rogers, very physical. I mean, Clint and Yu Zhong. Yeah. Only Farsa is the magic damage source for Bedell. That's why you can see Malvinas just doubling down on Antikyras. And I think that they have two Antikyras already available on both Glue and the Rafaela. Yeah. It's perfect. Now for Bedell, what they can do is go for anti-heal. I think that I saw dominant size. Maybe go for Durance eventually for the Farsa. As if you're looking at the Malvinas, all of their composition is now based on sustain. That's true for Glue. That's also true for the Rafaela in general. So these are the items that we might be looking for when we look into the game as we resume. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how both of the teams play out the rest of the game. Obviously, entering the mid-game, there's going to be a lot of pressure turned back and forth. This is where Malvinas will be able to get some more turrets on the board. And with that, will it be enough to control the map with their utilities that has been set up all the way from the draft? But now, let's just get straight into the Land of Dawn once again. 13 minutes in the game, and we have a 6-7 scoreboard with Bedell leading 3,000.
Taking the fight out of the kid doesn't seem to be the answer, because Bedell is still putting up quite the threat. And they're still finding the farm. So that's the one thing that Malvinas cannot do. They can, yes, control where Bedell can go now, at least this time around. It's as 50-50 as it gets. Map is red and blue at the same time. But when you're talking about farm, they're just so good at keeping Yunshi safe. That might be the key here for Bedell to come back around and get a better chance at taking this Lord. Make sure that Yunshi gets those hits in when it matters, and not only when the fight's about to end.
Yeah. I agree with that, but the thing is, for the side of Malvinas Gaming, they have Zing, and Zing has just been so annoying for Yunshi. He hasn't been able to deal as much damage to the priority targets because of Zing. This guy, he plays the glue perfectly. He knows exactly what he needs to do on this glue. The split, the positioning, and the pressure is on for this man, and that's exactly what has been basically getting the victories for them. With Malvinas Gaming now looking for the fight. It's going to be Asmo picked up very low, as the Feather Airstrike will be able to zone away Adrian for now. Far away, very low mana. Quinn dashes in, and that's going to be Paranoid picked up on the other side of the map. Alien, though, joining up. Farway taking very low, but it's going to be the Petrify coming in. That's going to be Alien picking up the kill. Going in for more right now as MVG Sing comes back in to try to defend. Yunshi finally gets the free hits he wants, but in the end, it's only a 1-for-1.
Difficult but worthy trade, I'd say. Paranoid for Quinn, yeah, that's a jungler for a mid laner, but Paranoid on the far side is super important. I don't think they're done. Sing, just putting up a perimeter. You will not take me. You will not hurt my cores. And I want to talk about Adrian. You saw earlier how he dashed forward. That's the difference between Adrian and Yunshi. Yunshi is just going to try to clean up, while Adrian's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Absolutely, but wait a minute, the damages, they've used a lot of resources there onto Osmo. That might be a very fatal thing to do. It's going to be Alien in the backside doing a lot of damage. Stefe will be next on the chopping block. That's going to be Adrian taken down. The killing spree picked up, and Harley is going to be next on the chopping block now in a 1v1. Alien versus Quinn. The stun comes up, and Quinn will be able to pick up one, but at what cost. 4 of his members, 4 of his teammates has been taken down with the Lord as well.
4 for 1 plus a Lord. That's worth it. Alien, help. Alien, your sacrifice is appreciated. And now, Bedell is looking at least a single lane penetration. At least one inhibitor is gonna go here if they do it right, or at least clean up the rest of the map. They're back in control one more time. It's like this game was directed by Ridley. It's back and forth. It's back and forth.
Twist after twist after twist. As right now, it's going to be Agent caught out once again. He's going to get taken down as Harley tries to do some damage. Holy Baptism connects onto 2, but far away. Dashes in onto Quinn. By the airstrike to finish him off as Harley jumps in for the kill once again. Paranoid gets picked up. Far away looking for another kill on the board. It's going to be the mega kill picked up as Singh goes into the backside. Still able to take a lot of damage. Goes in onto Far Away. Still able to dash away, but the Slime connects onto 2. Far Away still able to run away for now as the Lord is marching down the base. And 3 inhibitor turrets have been taken down. Singh going in the 2v1, still able to withstand the damage, but for how long? Far Away still gets out, not for long. Singh takes him down, but Bedell, that's the name of the game with the Lord coming in. It is going to be the base taken down with additional emotes to BM, but man, that was a great game.
Oh, BM being just not the case here. I believe it's more of a hello. Welcome, this is Turkish ML.
Yeah.
It's a quite the introduction, and I still can't believe this is not their main lineup.
Yeah. It looked like they really are comfortable with playing with each other. I love the fact that they are syncing together. What was the objectives, but they weren't able to